Learning objectives. After completing this module, learners will be able to explain different challenges faced by different countries, define the major challenges, describe the different types of reforms. Thinking about challenges. A challenge is defined as a difficulty that carries within an opportunity for progress. A challenge is not just a problem. We call those difficulties a challenge which are significant and which can be overcome. Serious challenges that democracy faces all over the world are: foundational challenge. A challenge for non-democratic countries is making the transition to democracy and instituting democratic government. This involves establishing a sovereign and functional state, keeping military away from controlling government, and bringing down the existing non-democratic regime. Challenge of expansion. Most of the nations face the challenge of expansion, and it involves applying the basic principle of democratic government across all. The regions. Different social groups and various institutions. Extension of federal principle to all the units of the federations. Inclusion of women and minority groups, and ensuring more and superior power to local governments, etc. Challenge of deepening of democracy. It involves strengthening of the institutions and practices of democracy to those institutions that help people's participation and control. This requires an effort to bring down the control and influence of rich and powerful people in the making of governmental decisions. Thinking about political reforms. Democracy reforms or political reforms are defined as the suggestions and proposals taken and adopted for overcoming various challenges to democracy. Democracy can be reformed using the following ways. Reformation of politics by making new laws. Wrong political practices can be discouraged and good ones can be encouraged by carefully devising the changes in law. Any legal change should carefully examine the consequences it will have on politics. Sometimes the result may not be productive. Democratic reforms are to be brought about principally through political practice. Before accepting any proposal for the reformation of politics, one should think not only about what is a good solution, but also about how it will be implemented and by whom. Redefining democracy. Redefining democracy means to preserve the democratic ideals. Redefining of democracy can be done by: the representatives who rule should take the major decisions for the welfare of the people. Elections should be held on fair grounds in order to change these rulers if they ever go wrong. Everyone should be having equal opportunity and choice to change the system of rule. The exercise of this choice must be limited by basic rules of the Constitution and citizens' rights. There are some ways in which democracy can be redefined to make it more effective, which are discussed below. Democracy should ensure that the views of minorities are respected and their needs and demands are not overlooked by the majority. In a democracy, there should be no scope for any discrimination based on caste, religion, and gender. In a democracy, people's rights should be given full respect. People should enjoy extensive rights, from right to vote to participate in general elections. People should have enough freedom and opportunity to enjoy their socio-economic rights. Summary. Let us summarize what we have learned. Any legal change must carefully look at what results it will have on politics. Generally, laws that seek to ban something are not very successful in politics. Laws must empower the people to carry out reforms. Main focus of political reforms should be on ways to strengthen democratic practice. Quality of political participation must be increased and improved. Not only a good solution, but who will implement and how should also be considered. The political parties and MPs may not pass legislations which will go against them. In such cases, democratic movements, citizens' organizations, and media can be more successful. Deepening of democracy involves strengthening of the institutions and practices of democracy that help people's participation and control.